When everything around you is falling apart, it's not the end. It's the universe handing you a blank page. The question isn't, why is this happening to me? The real question is, what are you going to do about it now? There comes a moment in everyone's life when it feels like everything is crashing down. The plans fall apart, the relationships end, the dreams fade, and the confidence disappears. You sit there, staring at the pieces of your life, wondering how everything you worked for could fall apart so easily. But listen to me carefully. This moment is not your ending. This is your turning point. When everything falls apart, it's an invitation, a divine interruption, to rebuild yourself stronger than before. Sometimes the universe removes everything comfortable around you just to remind you of your power. You are being stripped of the old version of yourself so you can become who you were meant to be. You might be thinking, why now? Why me? Because now is the time when you're finally ready to see the truth, that you are far more capable than you've ever believed. The storm isn't destroying you, it's revealing you. The pain you're feeling right now is not punishment, it's preparation. Every person who's ever risen from rock bottom started right where you are, broken, confused, and scared. But they did one thing, they got up. They didn't wait for motivation, they didn't wait for someone to rescue them, they decided to rise. Because change doesn't start when things get better, change starts when you decide that enough is enough. So if everything feels like it's falling apart, good. That means something new is being built. You may not see it yet, but every broken piece is being rearranged for your breakthrough. The question is, will you let the pain define you, or will you let it drive you? Will you stay down and complain, or will you stand up and rebuild? This is your moment to change, not tomorrow, not when things feel easier, now. Get up, even if your legs shake. Speak life into your future, even if your voice trembles. The world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs a resilient one. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not what broke you. You are the person who survived it. You are the one who's still here, breathing, learning, fighting. That means your story isn't over. It's just beginning. So take this pain, take this heartbreak, take this loss, and turn it into your rebirth. Stand up and say, this is my time to change. This is my time to rise. Because sometimes when everything falls apart, that's when you finally come together. When everything falls apart, it feels like the end. You look around and all you see are the shattered pieces of what used to be your life. The plans that failed, the people who left, the dreams that didn't work out. You feel like you've lost control, like the world has moved on and forgotten you. But what if I told you this is exactly where you're meant to be? Because rock bottom isn't the end, it's the starting point. It's the place where transformation begins. It's where the version of you that pretends, that plays small, that fears failure, finally breaks apart so the real you can step forward. When everything you depended on falls away, you're forced to face yourself. The noise quiets, the distractions fade, and you're left with the raw truth of who you are and what really matters. It's uncomfortable, even painful, because we spend so much of our lives trying to avoid this exact feeling of uncertainty, of not knowing what comes next. But in that space of not knowing lies your greatest power. It's the moment where you realize that no one is coming to fix this for you, and strangely, that realization is freeing. Because the moment you stop waiting to be saved, you start saving yourself. The world glorifies success, but what truly builds you is failure. It's the sleepless nights, the heartbreak, the disappointment, the moments that make you question your worth. Because in those moments, you either give up or you dig deeper. And when you dig deeper, you find strength you didn't even know existed. Rock bottom strips away your excuses. It shows you what's real. It reveals the parts of you that can't be broken. It's in that emptiness that you start to rebuild from a place of truth, not ego. When everything's gone, you begin to understand that your value was never in the things you lost. It was always in your ability to begin again. You start to see that the collapse wasn't a failure, it was a clearing. Life was removing what couldn't come with you to the next level. You were holding on to what felt safe, but life needed you to grow. It needed you to step out of the comfort that was slowly killing your spirit. Sometimes the breakdown is the breakthrough in disguise. There will come a day when you'll look back at this moment and realize that rock bottom was the greatest gift you were ever given. It forced you to rebuild your foundation on something stronger. Self-belief, courage, resilience. The old version of you couldn't survive the storm, but the new one, the one rising from the ruins, That version is unstoppable. So even though it hurts now, even though it feels impossible, remember this: rock bottom isn't the end of your story. It's the birthplace of your power. There are moments in life when it feels like everything is collapsing. Your plans, your confidence, your sense of direction. You look at the chaos and wonder if life is punishing you, if the universe has turned against you. But what if it's not breaking you at all? What if it's rebuilding you? What if everything falling apart is actually everything falling into place, just in a way you can't yet understand? Sometimes the universe has to take away what's comfortable so you can finally see what's possible. The truth is, comfort keeps you stuck, and growth demands disruption. The things you've lost weren't random, they were lessons. Life doesn't remove what you need, it removes what's blocking you from becoming who you're meant to be. When something ends, it's easy to see it as failure. But every closed door is a form of protection. Maybe the job that didn't work out was keeping you from discovering your real purpose. Maybe the person who left was meant to teach you how to stand on your own. Maybe the plan that collapsed was never meant for the person you're becoming. The universe has a strange way of working. It breaks your plans before they break you. It shakes your life not to destroy it, but to shift it. You may not see it now, but there's a reason behind every setback. You are being guided, redirected, and rebuilt for something bigger. The hardest part is trusting the process when you can't see the full picture. You have to walk through the darkness before you can understand the light. Growth doesn't happen when life is easy. It happens when everything familiar disappears. Those moments of confusion and loss are where transformation truly begins. You start to see that every piece of your past, every heartbreak, every mistake, every disappointment was shaping you for what's next. The version of you that existed before couldn't carry the weight of your future, so life had to strip away what didn't belong. It's painful, yes, but it's purposeful. Think about it. A seed must break open before it grows. A caterpillar must completely dissolve before it becomes a butterfly. In nature, destruction always comes before creation. The same applies to you. Your breakdown is just the preparation for your breakthrough. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. Life is rearranging the pieces of your story to align with a higher version of yourself. And that's why you can't give up in the middle of your storm. Because this chaos you're in right now is sacred. It's the space between who you were and who you're becoming. One day you'll understand that what looked like loss was actually of the universe loving you enough to not let you stay small. The storm wasn't sent to end you. It was sent to wake you up to your power. There comes a point where you realize that no one is coming to save you. No motivational quote, no perfect timing, no magic sign will suddenly make everything better. You can sit there waiting for motivation to strike, but it won't. Motivation is a feeling, fleeting, inconsistent, unreliable. It shows up after you take action, not before. The moment you decide to get up, even when you don't feel ready, that's when everything starts to change. Because power doesn't come from comfort. Power comes from movement, from deciding that no matter how broken, scared, or tired you are, you will not stay down when life knocks you down. It's not about how long you stay there, it's about how fast you decide to rise. That single decision changes everything. The people who rebuild their lives after failure aren't the ones who had it easy. The ones who took one small, imperfect step when everything felt impossible. They chose to act even when they couldn't see the outcome. That's what separates those who grow from those who give up. It's not luck, it's not talent, it's the decision to rise when everything inside you screams to quit. You don't need to know how you'll make it. You just need to decide that you will. You need to decide that you are done letting fear control you, done waiting for the perfect conditions, done making excuses for why you can't start. Every great transformation begins with a decision, a quiet, defiant whisper inside that says, I'm not staying here anymore. You don't have to see the whole staircase, you just have to take the first step. Because once you do, momentum starts to build. Action breeds clarity, and clarity fuels confidence. Suddenly, what felt impossible begins to feel within reach. There's something powerful that happens when you stop waiting for motivation and start creating it. Each time you push through resistance, you build strength. Each time you take action despite fear, you build resilience. And little by little, you start to trust yourself again. You begin to realize that the strength you were searching for was always within you, buried under hesitation and doubt. You don't become powerful by avoiding struggle. You become powerful by walking straight through it. There will be days when you won't feel like showing up, days when everything in you wants to give up. But those are the moments that define you. Those are the days that build the kind of strength no comfort ever could. Getting up doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you've chosen to rise anyway. The decision to rise is the moment your comeback begins. It's the point where pain turns into purpose, fear turns into fire, and doubt turns into determination. The power to change your life isn't waiting somewhere out there. It's waiting inside you, the moment you decide to rise. There's a moment in life when you look back and realize that everything you've been through, every heartbreak, every rejection, every failure wasn't meant to destroy you, but to define your strength. The truth is, what breaks you does not define you. What defines you is how you rise from it. You are not the mistake you made, not the person who walked away, not the opportunity that slipped through your fingers. You are the one who survived it all. The world will try to label you by your failures, but you have the power to write a different story. The most powerful people you know didn't get there because life was kind. They got there because life tested them, and they refused to stay broken. When you go through pain, it leaves a mark, but it doesn't have to leave a scar that controls you. You can choose what meaning to give your suffering. You can decide that what broke you was simply a lesson, not a definition. There's something extraordinary about people who have been through the fire and still have the courage to love, to try, to believe again. Those are the people who understand that pain is part of the process, not proof that you're weak. You were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be real, imperfect, growing, learning, becoming. The mistake most people make is letting their past hold them hostage. They keep replaying the pain, the betrayal, the failure, and it becomes their identity. But the truth is, you can't move forward if you keep staring at what broke you. You can't grow if you keep defining yourself by who you were when you fell. The real power lies in taking control of the narrative, in saying, yes, that happened to me, but it doesn't own me anymore. Every time you choose to rise after being knocked down, you're proving to yourself that your strength is greater than your struggle. Resilience isn't about pretending the pain didn't happen. It's about standing tall in spite of it. It's about using every setback as fuel for your comeback. Every wound teaches you something about who you are and what you're capable of. You start realizing that nothing outside of you has the power to define you unless you allow it. The job you lost, the person who left, the dream that failed, those are chapters, not the whole book. The story only changes when you decide to turn the page. The beauty of being human is that you get to rebuild. You get to start again, no matter how many times you've fallen. The power to redefine yourself is yours alone. You don't have to be who you were before everything went wrong. You can be someone stronger, wiser, more grounded. You can look at what broke you and say, thank you for teaching me who I really am. Because once you stop letting your pain define you, you start letting your strength do it instead. There is no perfect time to change your life. There never will be. We keep waiting for that one moment when everything feels right, when the fear fades, when the path is clear, when the pain finally makes sense. But that moment never comes. Change doesn't wait for you to be ready. It demands that you act even when you're terrified. The truth is, the perfect moment is always now. Every second you spend waiting for the right time is another second you could be building the life you want. Change starts the moment you decide that you're done living in the same place you've been stuck in. It starts the moment you stop saying someday and start saying today. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they never start. They overthink, they doubt, they wait. But life doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards action. You don't need a detailed plan to begin. You just need the courage to take the first step, even if it's small. Because momentum doesn't come from thinking. It comes from doing. The more you move, the more the path begins to unfold. You'll never see the whole staircase, but once you take that first step, the next one always appears. That's how change works, not through certainty, but through faith. There will be fear, there will be discomfort, there will be resistance, but that's how you know you're growing. Growth never feels good in the beginning because it's pulling you away from what's familiar. It's uncomfortable because it's stretching you into someone new. You can't become the person you're meant to be while clinging to who you used to be. The process of change requires letting go of old habits, old excuses, and sometimes old versions of yourself. But what you gain in return is freedom. Freedom from limitation, freedom from fear, freedom from the life that no longer fits you. If you're waiting for a sign to begin, this is it. You have everything you need to start right now. The pain you feel is not a reason to stop, it's the reason to move. Because pain is energy. It's the signal that something inside you is ready to shift. You just have to listen. You have to trust that the version of you who wants more out of life isn't foolish, it's your future calling you forward. The only question is whether you'll answer. Change doesn't happen overnight. It happens in moments, in choices, in tiny acts of courage that stack up over time. You may not see results immediately, but you'll feel something even more powerful, momentum. And once you feel that, you'll never want to stop. Because change isn't about waiting for life to get better. It's about deciding to make it better now. The time isn't next week or next year. The time is this second, this breath, this heartbeat. Your time to change is right now. When everything in your life falls apart, it's easy to believe that it's over, that the pain will last forever, that the pieces will never fit again. But here's the truth. You are far stronger than you think. Every fall, every heartbreak, every failure has been preparing you for this exact moment, the moment you finally rise. The world doesn't reward those who never fall. It rewards those who refuse to stay down. You've been tested, yes, but you're still here, and that means there's more inside you waiting to come alive. The pain you felt is not wasted. It's shaping you, refining you, and building the version of you that can handle everything you've been praying for. Life isn't asking you to be perfect, it's asking you to keep going, to get up one more time, to believe again. Because you are not your past. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become next. So, let today be the day you stop running from your struggle and start owning your story. Let today be the day you say, "This is my time to change." Every great comeback begins with a single decision. The decision to rise even when it hurts. You may not control what broke you, but you can always control what you do next. And right now, you get to choose strength. You get to choose courage. You get to choose you. No matter where you are or what you've lost, this is not the end of your story. It's the start of your transformation. The world hasn't seen your best yet. The storm you're walking through isn't there to destroy you. It's clearing your path. So get up, take a breath, take a step. This is your moment. This is your comeback. This is your time to change. Thank you so much for watching. If this message touched your heart, remember, you're not alone and you're not done yet. You have the power to rebuild, to rise, and to transform your life starting right now. If this speech inspired you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Because sometimes one message can be the spark that changes everything. Stay strong, keep believing, and never forget. Even when everything falls apart, you still have the power to rise. Until next time, stay focused, stay brave, and keep becoming the person you were meant to be. Thank you for being here. And remember, this is your time to change.